Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just here in the war room planning a bit of the OREC conference, but I wanted to give you guys a quick little heads up of the video I shot with Mike. You've been seeing him a lot on my channel recently. We're gonna go check out a property, 14 units that he bought that was by some very beautiful houses that I didn't even know existed in London, Ontario. And he got this 14 unit building for $77,000 a door, and he's increased the value immensely. He's gonna tell us all about it. And we're going there in style. We're driving around in his S4. Let's go check it out.
It's a great four-door sedan.
I'm up high.
Higher, yeah. Oh, you mean the seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a shorty. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, shorty want to be a thug, you know?
Lefty?
Want to go left here? Yeah. The left here, yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice purr to it, eh?
But yeah, it's that they made a good. Because Audi exhausts have always been sort of quiet, and they really stepped it up and put up. It made a difference in the exhaust sound in this thing now. So this thing's got flat bottom steering wheel. It's got a full virtual cockpit, which is the screen on the dash. You can sort of zoom in, zoom out.
Oh. And they've upgraded the beverage cup holder.
Yeah, man.
That was a pain in the butt with the S4, eh?
That's funny.
I can't. Peter knows that. We can't put our two coffees in the S4 or the A4.
Germans, man. Germans. They make
the
it.
Germans want the espresso, though.
Exactly.
Come on.
Anything. I was trying to build a product that I could sell on Amazon, fulfillment, all that other jazz. Was the building. There we go. So there we go. So you can pull up over here. So this is a 14 unit building. I bought about 3 years ago. It looks like a Victorian home on the outside. You know what? You can probably just pull up. I'm going to show you the sort of the neighborhood maybe first, if that's cool. Yeah. And then we'll. So a couple good things is 14 unit building, two 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then all the rest are all 1 beds. Pull up here straight. So this is. So I got some roofing stuff. We're still doing some reno, obviously.
Look at those stairs.
Yeah, fire exits and stuff.
Those are legal, eh?
Those are super legal.
Dunkirk place, never been here.
So if you go left here, so this is the type of stuff you have to buy rental properties near, because with this, look at this monster on the left, monster on the left, monster on the left.
Oh, didn't even know these were here.
Yeah.
So who built these guys?
Crown Homes.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that ends there, right?
yeah. So that's just a park.
Yeah.
So you can pull in and then just sort of flip around.
Oh, you must love that, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. So this is I think this thing's like 11,000 square feet. This monster. So, anyways, I think if you yeah, it's kind of a weird one. You put it in reverse and you'll see it up there.
Oh, okay.
So this is sort of a secluded, do not drive through street.
Right. Well, half London doesn't even know this is here, probably.
No,
except for those people and anybody that walks through here. Right?
Exactly. And this is that's just a pedestrian street. It's not really a drive. They put it.
Yeah.
They paved it, but if you pull back here,
ride your bike. Look at those pillars on that. That extension, eh?
Yeah, that's funny because that guy called me. I gotta go see he had a leak on his flat roof there, so I gotta go take a peek at it. So we're doing the reno on the top left corner there. Windows being replaced up there.
Yeah.
So we're doing the reno on that top left corner. That's a 2 bedroom, so it's gonna be a rental, sort of a high-end luxury 2 bedroom rental. We'll kind of do a walkthrough right now with it. So I bought this thing in 2000. So bought it about, let's say almost 4 years ago.
Look at the swag here.
This is the only important keys. The other keys are all in a box, and there's probably like 250 of them over the lifetime of me doing this. But I bought this thing 4 years ago. I bought it for 71K a unit, 71K a door. So it cost me just about $1 million bucks, maybe a hair over $1 million bucks. I just look at the numbers, cash flow, that kind of stuff. This thing, I haven't done the numbers in a while, but the average 1 bed rents are about just under 800 bucks. The 3 bed is about 1,200. Renoing one on the top there, and I'll probably be at 1,650 when we walk through it. So it's a great neighborhood. Look up and down the street. There's big, beautiful homes. So this is the type of stuff that you only can get once in a lifetime. These things don't come up. They don't flip owners fast.
Go check it out.
All right, let's go inside. So I dug the whole foundation out because there was water problems in the basement. So I dug the whole back end out the side. And now we're doing some here because there's a little bit of front drip into the front closet there on the basement. So digging it all out and reading all the weeping tiles in the front. So here we go. Come on in. I'll repaint this. Now winter's just passed. So these guys here, big buildings, important fire stuff. These guys, just the fire aspect of it. Comment being about $1,000 a year. Nobody's doing nothing, but at the end of the day, this is just expense to have. You have to spend the money. If you don't want it or do want it, it just costs $1,000. Just simply having a system for them to come check, test it, press a bunch of buttons for 2 hours. So there's 4 apartments per floor. So we're gonna go, I don't have access to all the 1-bedrooms, obviously, because people are living in it, but I do have access to the one we're renovating.
Yeah.
So, in the winter time, obviously, come Christmas, I put a nice big fancy Christmas tree here. I get all the outside, the windows cleaned, all that stuff. So at least it creates a presence in the neighborhood, right? That's important to make sure that the building stands and looks good on the outside. So, this is a 2-bedroom that's not done yet. It's still being renoed. It's in major reno stage, but here we are. Come on in.
So that window is going to be such a selling feature, right?
Yeah. Like this is like old. This is like
And the
core of Old South. I make sure all the windows match, right?
Are
Like
you going to push the rent, or?
I'd say we'd get probably about $1,650 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1,650 or so. It's a 2-bed.
It's awesome.
Take a peek. So I got all the European rads. Check out the rads there. So I'm just trying to build it. Yeah, I got these shipped in from England. All these rads.
Wow.
And in the bathroom here, yeah. So check out the
ensuite in the Old South here.
check out this awesome vanity. That's the money vanity in here. Come and check it out.
Oh, and a towel rack.
Yep, towel heater.
Yep.
Towel rack,
Wow.
towel heater. That's the money vanity. Yeah,
So you're spending your money in this unit.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
You want the right
You want the
tenant.
right tenant, right? You want the right person, the right tenant. And also, I mean, at the end of the day, once you build it well once, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I have a spread of $30,000 units, and then something like this would be a $150,000 unit theoretically, right?
Right.
Once it's all done. So the difference in quality is night and day. And now you can draw those rents in. And also, people want to live here. Why would you not want to live here? It's a beautiful space. You got
Nobody's above you.
Nobody's above you. Yeah. And there's nobody to the left of you or the right of you. There's a staircase. There's nobody around you except people below you. That's
Yeah.
it. So you're king of the hill right here. You know. So yeah. Right. The big push was this rats. Like I love those rats. Okay, especially this one here. So you go on the right hand side.
Oh, yeah.
What? No. That's just gonna be a lift space. I think the red's gonna be here. Yeah. There's gonna be there. That's just cool. Yeah. That's kind of like I was gonna put it as like a computer space.
Oh yeah.
I have those people.
Yeah.
So I've got for the kitchen here. So the way the kitchen's going to be designed, it's going to be a U-shaped kitchen with the peninsula coming out here. So there's going to be an island, sort of pan here. There's going to be an island our peninsula that comes up this way, focuses all the way around here. There's going to be no upper cabinets. There's only going to be an 18-inch pantry sideways here that pulls out here. There's going to be a fridge, and then uppers here, and then just all lowers. And nothing, just an island. There's going to be no uppers there. So as soon as you walk through the door, it's going to be an open space, and it's going to be backsplash all the way around here in this whole setup. So it'll be a nice open kitchen, and then the peninsula with the bar overhanging, and yeah, it'll be a great space for somebody.
So your guys are doing this, right?
Yeah. So I don't have what they would call a full sort of construction deal, but I do have guys that do all my rentals and stuff for me, who've done my flips over the years. And that's another thing. I think that, remember we were touching on doing individual things? I think one of the important things is by just testing certain things, you build relationships with people. So come help me with the flip, help me with the reno, come help me with social media. And you build relationships, right? So once you have the relationship, it just grows with you and you have more ideas. You don't have to do things consistently all the time, but as long as you have something, your foot in the fire all the time, and that's what life's about. Planting seeds, baby.
Oh yeah. So what kind of, how much is this rental going to be?
This rental's probably going to be about $40K.
That's not bad.
40K, yeah. So and it was junk. So yeah, I'll be around there, 35 to 40 by the time I'm all said and done.
How bad was the unit before?
It was terrible.
Yeah?
It was just old. It's never been updated, and the building was built in the late '60s, I think. Late.
You walked in, you could see the space, and you're like, let's turn this into this.
Yeah. I mean, we're in Old South, right?
Yeah.
This is Old South. This is where you have to spend the money. Old South, Old North.
Yeah, I'm spending money in the north right now.
Yeah, you need to. And at the end of the day, once it's done, I mean, you just think about once it's done, you never touch it again. Like how many times are you putting lipstick on a pig? Like the lipstick on the pig deal is good when you're younger, Or you
Great advice, guys.
Right? You're constantly lipstick on a pig, and I get that. Like, so like I was talking about 2 trains. Which train are you going to take? You're going to take the train of slumlording it up and lipsticking it up all the time. You're going to take the train of prettying it up and making it like this. Mm-hmm. You think I get a 10, and you think I get it 5 years later, it's going to be in the same shape? Probably. Mm-hmm. Right? It's going to be. I mean, obviously,
especially when they're paying $16.50 in London, Ontario.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who knows? You know, at the end of the day, who knows what I can get? At the end of the day, we're in a time right now. I can kind of ask whatever I want.
Yeah, that's the beauty right now. And like as agents, they always ask us like, "What do you think I can get?" And like, we do an estimate, but really,
whatever somebody will pay.
Exactly.
Whatever somebody will pay. And if somebody wants your property, they will pay. Because at the end of the day, if I was a buyer and I understood that, and I mean, I still try to look for properties today. I don't always look at steals. I just look at what value I can find. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm 36 today. I'm just turned 36. So from 36 to 55, I got 20 years to play. So I can take whatever debt you want to give me. I'm good for the next 20 years, maybe 25 years even. So I can take that all the drama that comes with it. But if I'm touching this game at 45 to 50, I don't have till 75 until this thing's paid off. So I'm not interested in buying high. I'll just wait till I'm 50 when the market's maybe tank, dip, I don't know, or there's a gap, there's divorces. Who knows, right? Who knows what the issue is down the line? But right now, I think you can kind of ask whatever you want, like you said, you know. So. But
yeah, there's somebody in my network, and she just asks, and she gets the rent all the time, right? So
yeah, it's the rental game is crazy. It also looks at so I used to live when I was in Toronto, and this is going back 10 years ago. I used to live in Yonge-Egg, and I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment before I bought my condo there, and I was paying $12.30 a month for a 1-bedroom. And you can get in London, and this it wasn't a spectacular place, but it was right at Yonge-Egg, right where the cinemas, the theater is at Yonge-Egg, and getting $12.30. So you think about $12.30. Now if you want that same condo in Toronto, it's $2,000. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like in London, Ontario, where you get paid the same money, we're all getting paid the same money. It's
so
different money.
The rents are same going down.
Yeah, so I guess the plan is we're in a buy and hold strategy. Yeah. So if you're buying rentals today, it's a buy and hold strategy. You can't buy and flip. It's not a flip game. It's a buy and hold. So you're gonna buy a half-decent location, or you just gotta build a portfolio. You know, or you build. It's sometimes it's all the ancillary things. You know, like when I first bought my first rental, I had no idea that I had tax benefit issues, like tax benefit stuff. I didn't know that I could have write-offs. Like I was like, write-offs? This is amazing. I'm like, you can write off interest. I'm like, holy shit, you can write off interest, and you can't write off interest in anything else. We're not in the US, right? Mm-hmm. In Canada, you can write off your personal residence interest, but in Canada, you can't. And for rentals, you can't. So I'm like, oh boy, I don't care how big my mortgage is, because I can write it off anyways. Mm-hmm. I need to make the money, but you can write it off, and that's the key. So you go and you buy stuff for the property, you can write all that stuff off. And it's just new. I was like 21, I bought my first property at 21. So at 21, I learned that you can write stuff off. You know, I learned that you don't have to trust one banking guy that you talk to, because he might be lying to you. Yeah. He might not be the quota. Maybe CIBC doesn't have the quota that year.
Talk about what bank ever shut you down, and did you have to? How did you get over that hump? You know?
Yeah, like so. I won't make it too long here, but how I started was I work for Houdt. So one of my things in life is don't give up your day job at the moment. For sure, I want to get my day job in the future. I get that, but at the moment, for me, I don't give up my day job because that's your stable, that's your base, right? So when I first started selling cars, so I work for Houdt, I sell cars. And when I was 20, I started with Houdt. At 21 and a half, I racked up, I think I started at 19 and a half, but I racked up 18 grand in RSPs. So I started just pulling money in RSPs, I got 18 grand. I took the 18 grand and I bought my first rental property. Most people take that money and they'll buy a house. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. I took that money and I bought a rental property. And that's how it started. So I started with that. So then I started that. I refinanced that, paid it down, got some money from my mom and dad. They lent me the money based on paying them back. And this is why I said loan money, to your kids. Because you have to start with money somehow, right? So mom and dad didn't have a lot, but they gave me enough to get the party started. And once it starts, and then we're hustling, right? We're driving, we're hustling. So there's a point where you get to, this was in 2004 to 2006, the banks were really eager on giving money out. You could get CMHC and you can get Genworth. Genworth, yeah. So there's two guys, right? So they both do insured mortgages. So you can do both of them. So you can get both of them. So you have two insured mortgages, not one. So that's one small strategy that I worked out where we just did both. We didn't do one. So at the time you could have done it. So anyways, I bought all that stuff. Just started buying stuff for about 100 to about 150 grand. I bought a lot of that stuff. Issues I've had with bigger buildings. So this is more personal to me that bothered me. When you're starting small, You just take all that data, you talk to your local bank or mortgage guy, and then they'll set you up with something for 150, 200 grand. As you get bigger, what you need to do is you need to create a resume. So what I did was to get this building, per se, I took everything I had. So I took my first house I ever bought, which is on Trot Drive, right by Western there. Some of the guys watching will probably see some of my tenants I had there. We built this, we were like the head house for the Western Snowboard Federation. We built a huge half pipe in the back of this, my first rental. It was hilarious. Mad, huge party. But anyways, make a long story short, that was my first one. I kept buying. I did all the flips. So I took everything I ever did, how much I bought it for, how much I sold it for, how much profit I had at the time. I put it all one big gigantic spreadsheet. I printed out all the geo warehouses I did. I took everything. So I probably had about, I'll call it maybe at the time when I bought this, I probably had like 30 deals that I did. I took all that data, I handed it to my banking guy. And I said, this is the deal, this is what I have. This is my net worth. I got everything on paper. I didn't have them call me for anything. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to go to an interview and sit there and be like, yeah, ask me questions. Mm-hmm. No, you take all the data you have and you hand it to somebody because you're a pro. You don't want to not be a pro, mm-hmm. right? And that's really important. So hand it to him. Any questions he had, I had an answer right away because my rejection would be less. My rejection rate would be less. Now it did take this one specific bank on this property. It did take them about 2 months to get approved. So it wasn't like a 1 week deal. Oddly enough, it was just the bank. So this is something I realized, and this is really, really, really key to know, that it's not the first guy you give it to. If I give it to you and I'm like, Jeff, I trust you, my mortgage guy, my mortgage broker. I didn't use a broker, I went directly to the bank, but and you can use brokers for sure because they'll go to different guys, but sometimes you don't want everybody knowing your business, right? I don't want you knowing all my stuff. As much as I like you, Mr. Broker, I don't want you knowing all my stuff. So I give it to a specific banking guy. And here's sometimes another thing as well, is, I know I'm off the track here, but sometimes it's not always about the city you live in. Where is the biggest hustle city closest to us?
Toronto.
Thank you. So why bother giving everything to London, Ontario when, another example, I have a place on Windsor, I don't have it anymore. What I did was I looked for insurance, simple thing, looked for insurance, house insurance. I called 4 different insurance companies in London, Ontario. I got ranges from 3 Gs to 5 Gs. And I said, well, why the hell so expensive? Well, it's in a university area. So insurance is more expensive here. You're in a special surplus, some fucking, they called it whatever the hell they wanted to.
Yeah, it's a student zone, whatever.
Whatever, yeah. Okay, so you know what I did? Picked up the phone, I called my brothers in Brampton, I said, yo buddy, what's up? Give me a deal.
They don't know where the address is, and they're like, oh, cool.
And you know what my price was? $1,100.
Compared to 3 to 5.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One phone call.
Right, so you really gotta,
that's
huge. You probably just saved the audience $4 grand.
There we go, just making one call, you know?
Yeah.
Now at the end of the day, the relationships are more important today. So I would ask that $3,000 guy and say, look man, like, I like you, but I have to keep you honest. Just like I want to be kept honest as well. We all have to be kept honest, right? We have to make money, I get it. But why is it $3 grand? Why can't you put me to the guy that's going to charge $1,100? Well, you know, the risk is higher. I'm cool. As long as I know what the risk is, that's all I need to know. And that's basically how I approach things today. Back then I was like, let's just call the cheapest guy I can get it done.
And then you don't have a relationship, right?
Correct.
Then you go to the next one, you just keep shopping around for the better mortgage rate, and you just piss off everybody.
Exactly. Which is one of the plums I have with TD. If you go to TD today, you go to the teller at the bank, you go to the manager, they change every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to build a relationship with the bank?
Our parents could have a relationship with the banks.
Correct.
Our generation can't. Because they've moved on.
Exactly. So everybody wants to get bigger and better. So you kind of have to. So there's those type of things, right? But from a banking perspective, so I took all that data that I had, that book of Mike basically, handed it to this banker.
I would call it like the sophisticated investor binder, pretty much.
Correct.
Right? Like it's got all your data, everything you've made, your NOAs. Like and guys do this in their Dropbox now.
In the Dropbox?
Like Dropbox.
Oh, Dropbox.
Like literally like just wiring into them, right?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Versus like the paper. But up to you.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Full sometimes.
Well, I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. So I think when I gave him all this data, I thought it would move a lot faster. I think that was the thing with me.
Commercial mortgages take a long time.
They do, but not always. And this is the crazy part.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I had this exact same setup. So this was one specific bank, one specific guy, one specific bank. It was like he was doing me a favor. And then one thing in life you'll realize is that nobody gives you fucking favors. So when anybody tells you they're giving you a favor, bend over. And that's how I look at it. You want to deal with somebody. So it's the relationships again. I mean, you just have to pick, I'm coming to you with all my experience. So yeah, I'm young, I get it. You know, like I had an issue with Libro back in the day where I went the same thing. I took all my stuff, but I had like eight properties. When I took them, the guy laughed at me. And then I left and I'm like, is this guy kidding me? And this was a property that was 250 grand. He said, no, you're not there. He said, you're not there. And it wasn't like I was crazy refinancing everything. It was just because I was younger. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's just sometimes the mentality of the person you're talking to, right? It's not like, life isn't fair for sure, but you'll get a lot of those roadblocks. So anyways, this building took me 2 months to get. The building we'll see next, which is twice as big as this, took me 2 weeks to get.
Whoa.
Yes.
So let me guys know, what do you guys think of Mike's building there? Would you have purchased that? Would you have done anything differently? And let me know, what do you think of the S4? Do you think that was a good ride? Let me know. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like button. Hopefully we see you at OREC May 26th, 27th. Bye.